Welcome back to Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. My name is Josh Lilquist, and we are having a fantastic time talking about the financial markets. Income strategies on the last section. We're going to talk about some 401k, IRA, retirement strategies coming up here next. But we've had a lot of people in the past month or two, especially last month or two, come into these free classes that we've been hosting here at the Academy. And these are physical classes where people are coming in to see how the markets function, how to make smart investing decisions, but really how to build more consistency and confidence in the financial markets. So if you miss seats for that class, you can text the word investing to the number 210-210. That's text investing to the number 210-210. This for 2 seats and a financial quick start kit. And in this kit, it has some free stock picks, but also some content on how to get started right away. So if you're new to the markets, what to focus on. But if you've been trading and investing for several years and just looking for more consistency, there's topics in there for that as well. Text the word investing to the number 210-210 right now. So, Al, in the last segment, as I mentioned, we did talk about those income strategies, and you have to do things differently than what the public is doing. You can't just go Google it and try to find an investment strategy. It just, where is that information coming from, and who is giving that information, and what is their motive? So that's why we do things differently here at Online Trading Academy. We have people that have been in the markets, over 60 instructors now roughly, that train people how to trade and invest. And the dynamic is a lot of them came from the floors of the exchanges, the New York Stock Exchange, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and they've seen how the markets work. So they've helped develop our strategy. But also, a lot of our students are becoming instructors too, because you're seeing the evolution of Online Trading Academy. 25 years training people how to trade and invest, especially in 401ks and IRAs, in the retirement strategies. Let's break down the retirement strategies and how do you help people. We mentioned in that last segment, plan for income. How do you help people plan for the retirement strategies?
Well, one of the things that we do is look at everybody as an individual and look at what your goals are. When you go into retirement, a lot of people have had a plan that looks at, as I kind of mentioned in that last segment, how much money they have and what the average rate of return in the market is, and that's going to tell you how you can live in retirement. And we take a different approach. We want you to tell us what you want your retirement to look like, and then we'll try to put something together that helps you to achieve that. And it kind of gets down to the rate of return. What kind of rate of return do you need to live the life that you want?
So I just want to interrupt you for a second. That's a question that I'm sure a lot of people don't really know. What is a good rate of return? Because if you think about it, brokers and advisors, they're going to say, the historical rate of returns are what, 5 to 10%, somewhere in there.
Yeah, it's probably less than that if you go back. If you look at the typical investment that the public is in, it's lower than that.
So if it is, and people are putting money in all these accounts, and they're not reaching their retirement goals, they need to do things differently, right?
Exactly. And sometimes that means, and oftentimes it means doing something you have not done before, that you haven't been exposed to or taught about. That's what we do. There are a number of different ways of being involved in the market, a number of different assets that you can trade. We have pros that can give classes, education, knowledge on all of those. But just as far as a rate of return, let's just look at this. If you, especially, the younger you are, the earlier you start, the better off you are. But let's just look at this. If your rate of return is 3.9%, it takes 18 and a half years for you to double your assets. If your rate of return is 11% annually, it takes 6.5 years to double. So that rate of return is significant. But I think now this is what people should do right now. Look at where you are now. You can't trade backwards, so you can't change what's happened before. But if your portfolio's been hit, or if it's fallen behind where you think it should be at this point in time, now is the time to get prepared. And how do you do that? Well, number one, you have to protect the remaining assets you have. If you have lost money, are you okay with losing more money? And if not, how are you going to stop that? Well, if you have a portfolio that has taken a hit in this market, maybe whoever is managing that portfolio didn't do what would be in your best interest in having the proper protection.
But what if they're a nice guy or a nice gal? Remember,
Sure.
you talk to a lot of people and they say, they're a nice guy, but...
Yep.
So it's kind of they're salespeople, right?
Well, look, yeah, and that is part of how they're successful. They are nice people, and I know a lot of people that I was in that industry, and a lot of my friends are still in it. They're really nice people. But think about this. Who really is responsible for what you have at the end of your life when you go into retirement? Who's responsible for, what you have now if you have investments? And you're really the one that's responsible for it. You can't. I know you can hand off the management to somebody else, but at the end, when you look at the results, that person is not going to make up any difference between where you think you should be or you want it to be and where you are. This is your responsibility, and the knowledge is out there. The opportunities are there. If you're not doing well, it's not because of a lack of opportunities. It's because of you're not able to take advantage of those opportunities.
Yeah, and then I'm glad you brought that up, Al, because that is your responsibility. And you've been talking about this I remember last November, last December, we were talking about plan for a down market. This has kind of been the theme of the whole show. And you just mentioned a great thing. Now is still the time to keep planning and start building these strategies because we have great opportunities coming up, especially in retirement accounts. So don't just wait there and sit there and wait. Act now. Come into one of these investing classes, and Al kind of dissects these 401k strategies, these IRA strategies with your accounts and what you might be able to do moving forward. Text right now. Text the word investing to the number 210-210. That's text investing to the number 210-210 for 2 seats to see how to use your retirement account and hopefully make smarter investing decisions within that. So, Al, you brought up a couple of great topics, and I just want your opinion, or I guess not your opinion, but what can people expect in 2 scenarios? And we'll kind of bring this back full circle, maybe in the next segment if we have enough time to do it in this segment. We'll probably end it in the next segment. What can people expect if the market continues to go down, and if it does go back up? Like what's an expectation there?
Well, the market is going to do both of those things. It's going to go down, it's going to go up. But the key is what's going to happen in the future. And you know what? To be honest with you, nobody knows. Nobody that I'm aware of living at this point in time in history can predict 100% accuracy the future. So what you have to do is be able to put the odds in your favor that regardless of what's happening, you can benefit. And it means not just knowing anybody out there that has any kind of investments right now understands bull markets. They understand that you can make money if the market is going up. But it's not always going to go up. And you just saw that this year. We saw it in the year 2000 with the S&P down 50%. The year 2007 to 2009, down 57%. When the pandemic hit, the coronavirus pandemic hit, down about 35%. Those things will happen, and we can't control. You can't control something like COVID. There are things that will happen. We can't control what China does or North Korea does or Russia does, but we can control how we respond to those things. If the market goes up, are you satisfied just getting that maybe 3 to 5% a year? Wall Street isn't. The pros aren't. They are looking at sometimes triple-digit returns. We can't guarantee that you'll get that, but the opportunity is not going to be there at all for you to try to achieve bigger returns if you don't do something different. If you're just investing in mutual funds or if you're putting a long-term portfolio together, not really going to help you with that short-term income aspect. There is a right way to invest long-term, and you really need to be able to do that. But the number one thing you have to do is protect the assets that you have. And then if the market does go up, there are people out there that in every day, I get newsletters from people saying this market is going to skyrocket. And then another newsletter, we're going to have a flat market for the next 10 years. Another newsletter, this market's going to be down and people are going to lose another 20, 30, 40%. Again, those are opinions. Who's right? I don't know who's right, but wouldn't it be great to be prepared to take advantage of any of those outcomes?
Yep.
But if you want to participate in an upward move in the market, which we will have, then there are assets that give you the opportunity to have a multiple every dollar you put into an investment. Those leveraged assets, futures, forex, options. You need to learn about those, and those are the things that we talk about in these classes.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because you have to protect your money. I mean, that's the key: is keeping what you have, learning how to keep what you have, but then building the strategies on to get back in the market when these markets go back. When will they go? Who knows? But don't wait for it. Don't wait and see. Act now. We have investing classes that Al helps people prepare for some of this stuff, how to plan. Text the word investing to the number 210 for 2 seats for this investing class to see these strategies. Learn that plan, build that plan, put simple rules within that plan, and hopefully reaching those goals that you have for retirement, whenever that may be, and whatever that looks like for you in the future. Text the word investing to the number 210. I want to talk about something in the next segment, Al. It's that wait and see mode. We have a lot of people in the markets that are holding on to really bad positions right now, and they're waiting to see what happens. I'm going to give a little story on what that looks like coming up next. This is Josh and Al. We'll be right back.